Welcome to the Voice of MPE podcast. I'm Dwayne Gefferie, payment strategist and host for this episode. In this MPE Talk series, we bring you fresh insights from top industry leaders and payments professionals. I'm joined by Ran Cohen, CEO and co-founder of BridgerPay. Ran founded BridgerPay in 2019, and after experiencing firsthand the payments complexity the merchants face when scaling globally. Today, BridgerPay's payments orchestration platform connects over 1,000 payments providers across 180 plus countries, helping businesses from SaaS to travel to retail navigate this increasingly complex landscape. Ran, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Dwayne. Good to be here.
Thank you. Well, let's start with the infrastructure shift the industry is experiencing. What we're seeing isn't a feature cycle anymore. It's an infrastructure transformation. AI agents, tokenization, stablecoins, and instant payments converging represents a fundamental change in how payments work at a protocol level. This isn't about adding another payment method to the checkout page. So from your perspective, working with merchants across multiple verticals, what did this shift actually mean for them operationally?
Well, look, you've mentioned a few factors, and I don't think they are isolated. If you look on the macro level, they're all coming together. They are basically rewriting the infrastructure. They are not changing it. They are not moving it. It's a completely new thing, a new rail in our world, or much bigger than that. Now, if you break down and look inside, you have the tokenization that basically helps you to abstract the credentials from the card and make it now a token that you can use in multiple different transactions and types. You have the stable coins that is another abstracting layer of settlements. It becomes much more easy to settle with stable coins. You have the instant payments that are making the friction in the transaction much faster. And now add to it AI, which makes the optimization and routing much bigger than anyone. Mm-hmm. You take all of that and it's a new payment era. And I think this is what's shaping today the payments world. And that's how companies are going to or should start prepare for this new era.
Absolutely. I think you really summarized that well, is that all of those different components are all coming together, right? That real convergence between all of that technology. So I think this infrastructure shift isn't just creating new opportunities. It's also creating unprecedented complexity. Merchants now need to think about traditional card networks, alternative payment methods, crypto rails, instant payment systems, all while dealing with different regulations across markets. Each of these operate on a different logic, different settlement times, different compliance requirements. How is this complexity manifesting in the day-to-day decision-making of payment leaders?
Oh, wow. So I think this is another change you can see already coming. If before you would see merchants that would care only about the mid-rate, the commission rate, how much they're paying to the payment providers, in today's world, it's becoming much, much bigger. They're asking, is my route optimized? Is my fraud minimized? Is my commission minimized? And my approval ratio maximized? It's a bunch of questions that are now coming together as the new payment managers' topics in their mind. It's not just the cost. It's much more complex. And think about it. If you're a payment manager, how would you manage all of those questions without a real layer or orchestration layer that you can actually work with?
Yeah, absolutely. You see that all of that, it started out very simple. And then because of that complexity, now it needs orchestration. Now it needs intelligence. It needs a lot more of that. So staying on that topic of orchestration, right? Payments orchestration, which has become a critical capability in this environment. But there's often confusion in the industry about what orchestration actually solves. It's not just about connecting the multiple providers. It's also about making strategic decisions, like you already mentioned, at a transaction time, routing intelligently, managing failures, dealing with fraud, optimizing costs. So what does intelligent orchestration mean in practice when we're talking about this new infrastructure landscape?
So think about it that if you had a road, right, and a junction with two exits, which is how a payment route looks in merchants in the old days. You have a decision here, a decision there, this card goes there, this card goes there, this bin goes here, this bin goes there, whatever. So many different rules that they could have, but that would be a static routing. When you take that rules that end somewhere, always have a one dead end, and you move them to something dynamic, living, breathing, can never have an end or one single end. It could have multiple types of ending and with retries inside of them. So there would never be a transaction that doesn't have a bunch of fallbacks behind it. So when you move the world of today's routing of merchants, which is static routing, and you move it, or smart routing, whatever they want to call it, and then you move it to something which gives them back the power to actually route things with multiple types of fallbacks, because in the end of the world of payments is not 100%. There is no 100%, no payment provider provide you 100% approval ratio, 100% uptime, etc., etc. And that is why you need an orchestration layer. The whole idea of an orchestration layer is that it gives back the power to the merchant. From being a merchant signed with a payment provider and locked to that relationship, you now have the power to add and connect as many as you want and orchestrate your transaction between them, balance your volume, create fallbacks for those transactions. And this is the world of orchestration today.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's fascinating how that development, especially in the last 10 years, right? So we've had a lot of the data being stored and infused within our ecosystem. And then all of a sudden, instead of just having an if this, then that type of rule, all of a sudden becomes truly intelligent, right? Especially leveraging AI. And I think AI is really the topic that is not just a part of the day, but that's really also where the conversation continues to go, is that what does intelligence actually mean? Now, I don't want to go that far, right? I want to focus a little bit more on the area where within the industry, we're seeing AI actually having an immediate measurable impact. And I believe that's approval rate optimization. It feels like an example where technology shifts from what we've been discussing to AI agents actually making autonomous decisions. It's already delivering tangible value today and not just in 3 years from now. You've already built capabilities like Bridger Retry that uses AI to make real-time decisions about field transactions. How are merchants thinking about the ROI of these AI-driven capabilities versus the traditional payments optimization approaches?
Well, look, Bridger Retry is basically just last year we rescued around $500 million in transaction that was supposed to be declined in what we just called smart routing when you have a dead end. The retry is something. It's a component in the front of our dashboard of the product. On the top right corner, there is no one client in Bridger that doesn't see positive, good value and impact in dollar impact from transactions that are being rescued. But the nice thing about it is to think about that all the retry that they see today is based on their logic of fallback, right? On what they thought would bring them the fallback. And in the end of the day, we are human. There are 180 countries. There are multiple card brands, card bins, there is millions, different ways and options for a transaction to be routed.
Yeah.
AI is going to take the routing, the fallbacking, the retry, the fraud prevention rules, the cost optimization, all into one place. So think about a world where every single transaction has its own route with its own retry logic, with its own rules that built just for you, Dwayne, for that transaction. That's the future. So that's where we are taking clients in Bridger, and AI is the way there.
Fantastic. Yeah. I think having seen that evolution from up close where it started with that static logic and the more data, right? As you're saying, bin tables, all of that data is then consumed is that reputation from different payment service providers, different acquirers. How are you leveraging that? Which region are you operating in? Are you using 3DS? Are you not using 3DS? All of those different things really fall into it. So it becomes not just a one direction, but it becomes the infinite options to getting the success, right? And that's what everybody wants, of course, and especially merchants. So looking at 2026, right? We're already 1 month in, probably even more than that. One of the interesting tensions that I see is emerging between global payments infrastructure and local payment method preferences. On one hand, merchants want to operate globally with unified systems and processes. On the other hand, consumers want to pay with methods that feel local and familiar, whether that's an iDeal in the Netherlands, a Pix in Brazil, or a GCash in the Philippines. How should a payment leader be thinking about this balance when they're approaching market expansion?
So look, a lot of the merchants have the roadmap and they know what they want to do, and they want Pix in Brazil and they need Boleto and the iDeal, etc. They have a roadmap. They know what they want to add. The roadmap basically also about 3D. They want to add 3D. They want to add more PSPs or whatever. This could be a good roadmap, but I think from a strategy perspective, the good payment managers are going to think about what is my payment strategy, what is my target approval ratio per country, per region, per product, per card brand. What is my fraud risk appetite for this year, and how am I going to enable it in my processing? What is my fallback position? How am I prepared for those days where things are not working and everybody is down? So yes, how am I reducing cost with bringing different payouts options? This strategy I think is what's going to win, because it leads in the end the roadmap tasks, and roadmap for me is just tasks. It has to start from the strategy, and the real winners will basically treat payments as revenues and try to place revenues as place payments as a revenue source, a revenue line inside their books, because in the end of the day, businesses that holds multiple merchants inside them can easily turn payments into a revenue source. We're helping a lot of our clients to do it. The adoption of orchestration early is a good strategy for someone that wants to have the tools to grow and to make sure that he gets his roadmap faster than what he planned, because that's what orchestration is all about. The data visibility is going to be super important. There's going to be a lot of different data sources and endpoints that you will need to retrieve in the end to understand from your business perspective, how can processing be optimized? So it's not just us working with merchants, it's merchant working with us together. And we think together all the time from all perspective, how we can enhance. And I think if you align it together with the business KPIs, so payments is a part of it, then yes, you will reach good results.
Absolutely. So look, I think we can probably dive into strategy questions a lot more. Unfortunately, we don't have that much time. So I want to leave you with a final question. When you look at where payments is heading, not just in 2026, but the next 3 to 5 years, and you think about the conversations you're having with merchants, with investors, with industry leaders, what's the one thing that most payments leaders are currently underestimating and not paying enough attention to?
I would say that the winner is going to be the payment leaders that doesn't count their integrations, that the integration that they are not using, but the ones that are actually thinking about the intelligence infrastructure that can help them utilize and reach their goals.
Fantastic. Love that answer. So, Ran, this has been a fascinating conversation. What really stands out to me is that you're not just talking about payment strength, right? We're talking about fundamentally restructuring of payments infrastructure. For me, the key insight here is that merchants can't approach this without a tactical mindset anymore. Right? Adding payment methods or switching processors isn't just strategy. Strategy is about understanding how all of these industries shifts. AI-driven decision making, tokenization, instant settlement, global local payment dynamics. It's all changing the competitive landscapes and building payment operations that can adapt and optimize in real time. For everybody listening, the takeaway is clear. The merchants who will win in 2026 won't be the ones with the longest feature list. They'll be the ones who build payments infrastructure that's intelligent, flexible, and strategically aligned with where the industry is heading. Payments orchestration isn't just technology decision. It's strategic capability. Ran, for the listeners who want to learn more about payments orchestration or connect with BridgerPay, where should they go?
Just our website, book a demo with us, and we'll be here.
Fantastic. And for everybody listening, we'll see many of you at MPE 2026 in March 17 to 19 in Berlin, where these conversations will continue. Thanks for tuning in to the Voice of MPE podcast.
Thank you.